It's now been 2 weeks that I'm on the Lion diet. So I'm 4 years on the Carnivore diet. But for the last 2 weeks, I'm on zero milk. I did eat eggs a few days ago, and I also did eat chicken, but it's not part of the Lion diet. So the Lion diet is ruminant meat, salt, and water. So I'm not fully on the Lion diet because I do drink coffee, bulletproof coffee, which means it's butter with black coffee, no sugar, no sweetness. So bulletproof coffee is a great idea in the sense that it will give you energy. The total carbohydrates in butter is 0. Milk has a lot of carbohydrates in it. Milk has 47 grams of carbohydrates in a liter of milk. That's a lot. To put it into perspective, the total allowed carbohydrates per day on the ketogenic diet, which is a good diet, is 20 grams of carbohydrates for the whole day. So if you drink a liter of milk, you more than doubled your carbohydrates, and then you can't eat any other carbohydrates at all on the keto diet. Of course, the carnivore diet is not supposed to have carbohydrates, although milk is considered as carnivore because it comes from an animal. But be mindful of milk, because the milk sugars, the galactose, does influence your blood sugar levels. Even if it's not a lot, it does influence your blood sugars and your insulin. And also it holds your cravings. That's what happened to me. Your sweet cravings will stay if you drink a lot of milk. And also you may experience a lot of inflammation. Inflammation represent in the body, in the joints, in the guts, and in the brain. Some people experience inflammation in the brain as depression, other people as not being clear-minded, not able to sleep well, even anxiety. So the stricter we are with our carnivore diet, the better we will fare. That's why many carnivore doctors like Dr. Barry, although he's doing the carnivore diet for 4 years, still say that you need to cut out milk. But butter is the fat part of milk, and that is good. Cheese is also good on the carnivore diet, but it does have carbohydrates in it, although not as much as do milk. But if you overeat on cheese, you can become constipated. You also can get inflammation, and of course you can become fat even on the carnivore diet if you eat too much cheese. It is possible. But some people find that cheese is helpful to them to make the food palatable, and they cook deliciously and make the food nice. I'm very plain. I've always eaten mostly in the Lion diet way. In other words, I did not eat a lot of cheese, although you'll find some videos where I would eat cheese separately. But in general, I did not do that regularly. But I did drink milk too much. I've overdone it. That's why I cut it out. Like I said, milk had the inflammation for me, and I didn't feel good, to be honest with you, because it does give you a little bit of a sugar spike. You feel good after you drank the milk, but then later on you don't feel so good anymore. And now that I cut out the milk completely, I feel more positive. My energy levels are even better. I've done 100 push-ups this morning again. I've done 100 push-ups yesterday again. And when I was drinking the milk, I did not feel like doing push-ups. I did not feel like exercising. And that's what I've learned from one of the carnivore coaches. The person said that if you want to exercise, it's a sign that you are healthy. If you don't want to exercise, if you don't feel like exercising, it means that something is off. So some people need to be stricter with their carnivore diet. Of course, on the carnivore diet, we allowed single ingredient spices like pepper, not the powdered type, and garlic, but not the powdered type. The flakes is better because the powdered type has gluten in it and anti-caking agents, which is bad for you, which causes gut permeability. But on the Lion diet, we don't use any spices at all. We only use salt. Remember, in spices are oxalates, and those oxalates has the potential to cause inflammation, and these carbohydrates in the spices itself. So be mindful of that. And as always, don't use sugary sauces, but that's a given. But consider the carnivore diet. Michaela Peterson, you can check her out on YouTube, needed to do the carnivore diet because of inflammation. She struggled with depression and arthritis, and she reversed both with the Lion diet. She was also not able to eat aged meat, in other words, meat that was put away for a long time to become ripe. They call it aged meat. Because of the histamines, there's a histamine intolerance that some people can experience. So she eats currently mutton and red meat, beef, and in America the wild buffalo or bison. But she stays away from chicken. She does not tolerate chicken or pork well at all. So some people need to consider the Lion diet. I do still use butter, although I think butter would be allowed on the Lion diet, especially to cook with. But yeah, check out Michaela Peterson. And this is my meat. It's rump steak, fatty rump steak. And I'm now eating once a day. I've eaten once yesterday, and it's now in the morning, and I'm going to eat now again. Lion diet. OMAD. So the carnivore diet includes all kinds of animal products. It's eggs, all kinds of dairy. It includes milk, but as I said, try to cut it out. It includes cheese. It includes fish. It does include pork and chicken, and of course ruminant meat, mutton, beef, game meat, and as fatty as you want. But the difference between the Lion diet and the carnivore diet is that the Lion diet is only ruminant meat, in other words, only red meat. And they don't eat eggs, and they don't eat dairy, except for the butter, I would say, to cook with. And well, I use it in the coffee. It's important to eat fatty enough, and that's why I would say butter would be allowed on the Lion diet as well, as part of it, because it has zero carbohydrates. And it's the fat part. Butter is the fat part of milk. And it really helps you with energy. And it really helps you to keep your cravings away. Butter is an excellent source of energy. And of course, it's full of vitamin D. There's really no concerns of eating a lot of butter.